The year was 2024, and in the glitzy halls of the American Music Awards, one of the most incredible moments in BTS's journey unfolded. It wasn't just another night at an awards show. It was history in the making. For armies and music fans across the globe, the night was one they would never forget. BTS, the global sensation that had already conquered charts and hearts, was about to be recognized in a way that few could have ever imagined. This was a moment that would not just mark a milestone in BTS's career, but would resonate deeply across cultures and industries. The American Music Awards, an event renowned for its glittering celebrations of the biggest names in music, had decided to honor some of the most iconic boy bands through the ages. As the tribute video rolled, showing flashbacks of groups that had defined entire generations, something incredible happened. The video didn't just begin with a mention of BTS. It started with them. First, right there at the top of the tribute, BTS's name appeared, leading the charge as the first boy band mentioned, among legends like the Beatles, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, and One Direction. A stirring, heart-pounding moment that left fans and critics alike in awe. For BTS to be the first group to be mentioned in such a historical tribute wasn't just a nod to their success. It was an acknowledgement of their cultural revolution. To understand why this was so profound, we need to rewind the clock a bit and trace the winding, arduous path BTS took to reach this point. It's not a story of overnight success, but rather one of relentless perseverance, defiance against the odds, and a vision to be more than just another boy band. BTS's journey is one of the most extraordinary rises in the history of modern music. When BTS first debuted, they weren't backed by the traditional giants of the K-pop industry. They came from Big Hit Entertainment, a relatively small, struggling company at the time. They didn't have the corporate machine behind them that other groups did, and they were constantly dismissed by the media, underestimated by critics, and even ridiculed by the public. They didn't have the flashy production values, the established fan base, or the mainstream recognition. Yet, what they had was an unwavering belief in their artistry. Their music wasn't just catchy, it was an emotional, raw reflection of the human experience. They spoke about mental health, societal pressures, the struggles of youth, and the pursuit of dreams. Topics that were often swept under the rug by other groups. The industry didn't embrace BTS with open arms. In fact, their early years were filled with ridicule and doubt. They faced failure after failure, from being labeled as nobodies to performing in front of nearly empty seats at award shows. They could have folded under the pressure, could have conformed to industry expectations, could have given up when it seemed like the world didn't care. But BTS did the unthinkable. They kept pushing forward. They kept making music that was authentic to who they were. They believed in themselves when no one else did, and slowly, the world began to take notice. One of the key moments that would define BTS's journey came in 2017 when they made their U.S. television debut at the American Music Awards. It wasn't just a performance. It was a cultural turning point. Here was a group of young men from South Korea, singing in Korean, making history on one of America's biggest stages. This was a massive milestone not only for BTS, but for K-pop as a whole. It was a watershed moment that proved the world was ready to hear music that wasn't sung in English, that the language of music transcended borders, and that there was a hunger for something different. The impact was instant, and the internet exploded with reactions. People who had never heard of BTS were suddenly paying attention, and the world began to understand that this wasn't just another boy band. BTS was something much bigger. They weren't just part of the conversation, they were defining it. But this was just the beginning. In 2021, BTS made history once again, this time at the very same American Music Awards. They performed live and, in a stunning achievement, became the first K-pop group to win 3 awards in one night, including the highly coveted Artist of the Year award. The world was watching as BTS accepted these honors, and with each passing year, they continued to break records, make history, and prove that their influence wasn't confined to South Korea. Their impact was global, spanning continents and cultures. Now, fast forward to the 2024 AMAs. The tribute video, celebrating legendary boy bands of all time, was more than just a recognition of BTS's place in music history. It was a symbolic moment that captured everything BTS had fought for and achieved. They weren't just honored alongside the greats of the past. They were positioned at the front of the line, leading the tribute. Being mentioned first, ahead of the Beatles, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, and One Direction, sent a clear message. BTS wasn't just a part of the boy band legacy. They were at the forefront, shaping and redefining it. It was a seismic shift in the music industry, where Western-dominated platforms and award shows had often sidelined non-Western artists. But BTS had shattered that ceiling, proving that music is a universal language, that talent and artistry cannot be confined by borders. For armies around the world, the moment was overwhelming with emotion. Fans flooded social media with messages of pride, excitement, and disbelief. This wasn't just about a group of performers getting recognized. It was about a cultural revolution. One fan tweeted, "They didn't just break the mold, they redefined it." Another fan, reflecting on how far BTS had come, shared, "I grew up with NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, and now seeing BTS being recognized with them is surreal. They deserve this, and so much more." The reactions were a testament to just how much BTS had come to mean to their fans and to the music world. But there was more to this moment than just recognition. This was a culmination of everything BTS had endured and fought for. From xenophobia to the challenges of a language barrier, BTS had to overcome obstacles that many others could never imagine. Singing primarily in Korean, they faced constant dismissal from Western critics, who didn't believe that non-English music could have global success. Yet, BTS proved them all wrong. Their music didn't just resonate, it transcended language. It connected with people from all walks of life, and it spoke to the core of humanity in a way that was impossible to ignore. BTS's music was always about breaking barriers, pushing against the status quo, and challenging what people thought was possible. And the 2024 AMA's tribute was a testament to that revolutionary impact. In a world that often tries to box people in, BTS had found a way to break free of those confines and soar higher than anyone could have ever predicted. Their success was not only a victory for them, but a triumph for the armies who had supported them through every challenge, every setback, and every victory. As this moment played out on stage, it became clear BTS's journey was never just about music. It was about defying the odds, proving that talent and passion could break through even the toughest barriers, and showing the world that sometimes the greatest legacies are built not just through success, but through the courage to remain true to oneself in the face of adversity. And even now, as BTS continues to rise above all expectations, this historic moment serves as a reminder to the world that they are not just legends, they are pioneers, forever changing the landscape of music and culture, and inspiring millions of people everywhere to follow their dreams and push the limits of what's possible. Armies, this one's for you. From the very beginning until now, BTS has proven time and time again that their story is far from over. So, let's continue to support them as they continue to rise above, to break new records, and to leave an indelible mark on the world of music. Thank you for being a part of this journey. No matter what challenges come their way, BTS will keep rising. Because when you're a legend like BTS, there's no ceiling, only the sky.